Welcome to another great game of football. If you like action, you're in for a treat here.
It's up for grabs now! Thomas!
Oh, take him out, son. I mean that, take him out.
It was just banter.
Ladies and gentlemen, you boys took the hell of a beating.
Oh no! Scorchio! How did he miss?
Balotelli! Aguero!
Come on, fam. Real talk, lad.
Lovely cushion header. But Gerrard! You beauty! What a head, son! What a head!
Look at this touch. Wonderful. Rates his look, but then he sees the tiniest window open. Goal del Barcelona!
Morocco moving it infield, creating space now. He's taking on the defence by himself.
Giggs gets past Vieira, past Dixon. Comes back at him. It's a wonderful run from Giggs! Sensational goal from Ryan Giggs!
Madrid's defence stretched out like spandex on Miami Beach, and Casillas is left naked again.
You try kicking the goal, you hit me? Some fucking brains, didn't you?
When the seagulls follow the trawler, it's because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea.
Henry para Messi. Messi, el pase para Henry es buenísimo. Henry, gol. Gol, 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 gol. What a ball! He did it again. And it's Villa! Goal!
Right, so Facebookers, you're going to get a YouTube link. YouTubers, hello. Where have you been?
So casual.
Oh,
So
where
casual.
Where have you been?
Do me a favour.
Yeah.
Do me a favour. Click on the top on the right hand tab there, on the right hand screen.
You've already lost me. Yeah.
There. Click on the Twitch tab.
Switch.
Third one on the right. Up. Click on that one. Yeah. And now turn the volume off.
Where am I going for volume?
Mute it. And then do me a favour. Press theatre mode.
Where's that?
Go right down a little bit. Right. Up a little bit. Up a little bit more. That one there.
That one. Brilliant. Right. I suppose we should welcome everybody.
Welcome.
How is everyone? We are the FIFA Ramble, brought to you by Calhoun Review. My name is Luke.
I'm Alexi.
I'm Worm.
Welcome. Join us on a quest. Is it grand?
I don't know whether it feels like a grand quest. It feels more of a saga, like a Scandinavian saga, I think.
Ongoing one.
Like, it's less than an adventure. It's certainly not an Odyssey.
What do you know about that?
I'm going with the saga.
Okay, so on the saga today we've got Nuremberg St. Pauli. St. Pauli, fans' favourite St. Pauli.
Fans' favourite.
Yeah.
Bloody favourite.
I do feel like we need to explain why it's going to be a quick one this evening.
Okay.
I didn't need to.
Do we not?
I don't think we need to.
Okay, we're going to keep it quiet then.
It's not going to be as long, but there may or may not be an after ramble that you'll also all be invited to. Right, let's just go straight in. There's no messing around. An after
I didn't even
ramble.
know that was a thing.
After Amble Ramble.
An after amble ramble. Right, let's just go straight in then, shall we? As usual, let's do a Prem Roundup. Yeah,
That's
Yeah, we haven't
easy.
got that, have we?
That's easy.
that's easy. There's no Prem Roundup. Internationals. So Wales
Let's do Wales.
second in the group.
Will they qualify?
Don't know. Don't care.
know,
Don't even
don't
know.
care.
They'll get
qualify.
playoffs. They'll get playoffs.
They get first.
I can't see them getting top.
No.
International football is
It's out
for
their hands.
Brexit voters and paedophiles.
That's
There's a sound
That's the
bite.
official view
that's a sound
of
bite.
the FIFA Ramble.
That's it.
We've discussed this.
Brexit voters and paedophiles.
It is for patriotic xenophobes and paedophiles.
He's got the ball.
That's what I'm saying there.
Rolf Harris is going to be getting. They get YouTube in prison.
He absolutely loves Australia, though.
What's the Calhoun review?
That's gonna. I don't even care if it's Rolf Harris. I'm putting that on the front page. The site tomorrow.
Is that it?
That's gonna be the next Instagram post. Rolf Harris with you and me, Photoshop next to him. I fucking love the colour.
Rolf Harris doing dirty things to the Gormleysaurus. You can get him doing a Rolf Larue with the Gormleysaurus.
That is it. You all laugh at by 12 o'clock Saturday. We're all going to be photoshopped as members of Lost Profits.
Good lord. Good lord.
Right.
I'll be a false prophet at worst. I won't be lost.
Oh, you will be. You'll be in the fucking picture, won't you?
Correct.
Northern Ireland have secured their playoff place. They've only conceded 2 goals this whole tournament.
The Brontosaurus.
No.
Who's in charge of them? Is it Nigel Worthington?
Is it or is it?
No, he won't be. He'll be Bonnie Tyler or something.
Who is Adam? Will know if he's still in. Adam, who's Northern Ireland?
If he hadn't fucking given up already.
Yeah.
I know who he is. He's the bold chap. I just don't care about international football.
There was a really good quote from this week where it was like, "Oh, the problem that we had was that before we were losing all our games in the last 20 minutes." And now we're winning all our games in the last 20 minutes. But he, like, immediately after saying that, they won 2-0. And both, Johnny Evans scored very early. Man City's Johnny Evans.
And the Brontosaurus.
And the Brontosaurus. He was literally a whisker away from being transferred out of my dream team. Then he scored that free kick. If I fucking keep him in. He's on a roll. Who else is through? I'm trying to think who else qualified. Argentina.
Well, Argentina or Chile, basically. One of those two are not going.
But right, out of the group, it's 5. It's top 5, top 4 qualifying, and then 15-player playoff, and it's against New Zealand, I believe.
It's always against New Zealand.
Yeah, I believe.
It's always Australia, Uruguay, and it always used to be Australia, Uruguay, New Zealand, and like Chile or wherever it was. We used to play the playoffs.
Right. Also a bit more crap. I actually did what I was going to do.
There'll be a throw now after the tackle.
Where the fuck is this? That's not the one. I've downloaded the Twitch app. There you go, we're live now. I'm just going to message Neil.
Is he on there?
No, I know. He's busy, is he?
He's busy. Destiny 2's coming out today. No one's doing anything. Anyone that's not playing Destiny 2 today is not doing the best thing you can do today.
Good position. They've worked this attack very well. And the goalkeeper
done
well to stop that one.
Brazil are through, as they are. Belgium are through. Belgium became the first European side through, I believe.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you've got Martinez as manager.
And you got Thierry Henry coaching you, falling out with all your forwards.
Lukaku scored again.
It will be a free kick.
But no, I would say it's been a good week. It hasn't, is it? I really don't.
Turnover in play here.
No, the two most interesting stories from the international break for me are Luxembourg and Syria.
Yeah.
So, like that's if we're going to talk about international football, let's at least have the decency of talking about the good stuff.
Can you explain the significance of Syria?
Yeah.
Well, the significance of Syria is that Syria is fucked.
That's the video you sent me.
The last, what was it? The last second equaliser.
Yeah, it was. So they played. Syria played Iran. And it was the 93rd minute. 93rd minute equaliser to put Syria through. There's a wonderful clip, and I don't know whether you all social media eyes, but Twitter is one of those, and
we'll post it.
We already have. I've already sent it to Chief Calhoun, and he's posted it.
I have posted
There's a lovely bit of footage.
Did it this morning?
Probably about a minute or so's footage, so it's not a big waste of time, not as big as this waste. And the Syrian commentator breaks down in tears. He's completely overwhelmed by it, which is absolutely lovely. Yeah. That country's gone through a load. So that's that, and then Luxembourg. The Luxembourgians.
Showing a sweet ass name.
So that's against France, yeah.
They could have won it as well. They hit the post. Didn't they? Really late on it. He's one out. I posted that again on the Twitter.
Pereira.
Yeah, what? He's one out of a talent, isn't he?
He is 17.
One hell of a talent. So composed.
He's another of Lyon's youth academy.
Rushing it here,
moving from one side to the other. Well, they've been thwarted here. That's a sign of better things.
Letting
it go. Good through pass. The shot's off.
Pereira is absolutely incredible. The thing that I like most about him, well, there's loads to like about him. He's 2-footed. He's an incredibly upright player, which I really like. His head is always up. And the thing I really liked about him, and there's very little he can do about it, but because of his age, he's just slight, and there's just this. There is a touch of the Busquets about him. He's nowhere near as tall, but he's very non-British in as much as he isn't a big bruising central midfielder. He's not like Nemanja Matic either. He's very slender, but he just gets his body in the right position, and it is that thing, Xabi Alonso saying about, you shouldn't be making tackles. That's when you've made mistakes already. Yeah. It's your positioning. It's you getting your foot in the ball. He's incredibly tenacious, and if you watch the clip as well, I watched the game, which was really nice. But the clip is really good. The number of times he gets himself in his own 18-yard box,
stunning. He's breaking the lines.
Yeah,
yeah. An hell of a follow as well for anyone who doesn't.
Yeah, they post some good content. So that was, for me, that was the interesting stuff of this week. And as you know, like, just international football did an awful lot for me. I watched the Wales game.
Harry Redknapp said it.
Harry Redknapp did say it. The only thing that Harry hates about international football is you can't make 16 transfers in a window.
Oh, we're going to move on to him in a bit.
Are we?
Or do we want to do? Should we do it now? Should we just throw it out the window and do Arry?
Yeah,
treat yourself.
Right,
yourself. You deserve it.
Right, Arry chat this week. They ended up the window with 14 players in.
Is that many they bought?
14 players in, but he went, but 14 left. So he did. He was 1 out, 1 in, basically. Well, he was 6 in, and then 1 out. But it ended up 14 out, 14 in. Now this is the link which I fucking loved, because they didn't end up signing Alex, did they? I don't believe, or did they? I'm not sure. There was talk. They got agreed it. I'm not sure if they had. But the best part about this week was they made contact with Jack Wilshere.
Yeah, of course they did.
90 grand a week they offered him, and he turned them down.
Right, we haven't spoken about this. Do you know why they went for a load of the Arsenal players?
No.
Because Darren Dean is heavily involved with all their transfers, and so he's got the Dean of Mean. So that's why.
He's presented the ball to the opposition.
Yes, absolutely. That's why Jenkinson came. That's why
Michael O'Neill. Sorry, Michael O'Neill, Northern Ireland manager.
I did. Yeah, it's the mole guy.
Just shut up.
Michael O'Neill.
Michael O'Neill.
Thanks, Ad. I think your mum's left.
Yeah, sounds good.
Don't blame her. She's had enough of this shit. She's gonna put a jacket potato on for me.
Don't even joke.
I'm not joking. I'm being deadly serious.
You're just asking for it.
I'm asking for it. Like Sean Gunter. Sean Gunter with jacket potatoes.
Here's an open. Now the shot.
Oh,
fucking time.
That was lovely.
They've been playing well enough.
That was lovely. Right, moving on.
Well finished.
We are going at a hell of a pace.
We are. What are we doing?
Harry chat about international football.
So what we
my Harry chat was literally that 14 players brought in, 14 out. He tried to get, apparently, according to him, he was trying to get at least 4 more.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, 4 more he said that they were in for and nearly got. So
Paul Merson was never going to give up Soccer Saturday.
That would have been 18 players in. He's still suggesting that they're going to be in the top 6.
Can we do a prediction then? How many more do you think he's going to bring in January?
Can I add to it? Will Harry Redknapp still be there in January?
Right, okay, that's interesting.
Or will it be De Boer? Right, if he's definitely going to bring more in January, I'm going to go with 6.
6 more?
6 more. He tried for 4 more.
Yeah.
Already. Now, he's promised them a top 6. He's convinced. We're a good team. We brought in good lads, terrific lads. We're gonna be top 6. Don't worry. definitely
Don't worry.
top 6.
Nobody worry.
No
You're
one
worried.
Certainly don't worry about the bank
Harry's
balance.
got this.
Harry's got
So I'm imagining by January, one, you'll still want those 4 players at least, and also at that point he'll have realised that fact we're 13th here. I've promised them top 6. I better do something. What can I do? Right, I'll buy players.
Is Carson Young still in charge?
Yes.
Is he really?
Yes, Kevin Bond's there, his taxi driver.
Not let the ball escape his grasp.
Do you see how much? I don't know how much deadline day stuff that you watched, but did you see?
0.
I was out really early in the morning, and it came up on my phone. Arry Redknapp stopped driving out. He was driving out of like their ground or their train somewhere. Yeah, and it literally, they did everything they possibly could except jump in front of the car like some suffragette to get Arry Redknapp to stop, roll down his window and talk to him about transfers. To fuck, it's our chance.
In many ways, Jim White is the original suffragette, isn't he? Emmeline Pankhurst is what he's known. The footballing Emmeline Pankhurst is what he's known as.
Harry also stunned people with the England game.
Stunned. Waste time.
Waste time, innit? Same
Did he actually say that?
He said it was not bothered. It's a right off.
They'll qualify.
Oh no, that was the stuff he said that at the start of the season though. That was.
They'll play 10 games. We'll win 10 out of 10. I can't wait for the Premier League to be back.
Yeah, no, that was at the start of the season. That was when they were at Crystal Palace's ground filming for BT Sports.
The thing is, though, is you would imagine that
you wouldn't have said that if they'd given the fucking England job.
Yeah, well, also, if you realistically you use that international window, so rather than complain about it, to go right, I'm gonna. Oh, this is annoying.
Anyone that's not watching this on YouTube.
You should really be over on YouTube.
Who have you got in there? Who's in on there?
We've got.
I don't think so. They'd be quite fantastic if they are. To be honest with you, Martin, the opposition looks down and out, down there.
Fatuous. That'll be Wobbles. Who's the other one? Utrusion. Well, that is Mr. Cameron Murphy. That is. He's my gentleman friend from Scotland.
He's in.
9 minutes now.
Yeah, my gentleman caller.
Is that the same way? Look, your mate's in.
Well,
not your gentleman friend, your female friend. You don't know.
They passed their way up into a good position here. They've just lost the concentration. Lost the shots on here. He's kept it out. Well, that's been the story for this goalkeeper today. The clean sheet. That's going to change.
You'd imagine what I was going to say was if you're Arry Redknapp and you're complaining about the international break, surely you would use that to just be like, right, I'm going to go watch an under-21s game.
But in fairness, it's easy to slag him off, like particularly if you're me. He does though. He watches an inordinate amount of football. They reckon that he is very much like one of those ones where you could talk about any game. And he'll be able to talk to you about what's going on, like actually what's going on in the 3rd division at the moment, and talk about players' form and stuff. Like he's old school in a number of ways. Many of them bad, but also in a good way. There's a reason why he does the job he does, and he still gets job. He talks a good game.
You're gonna have to remind me now. Centre back who used to play for QPR. Talking about Arry, we can link it in like that.
Michael Dewberry.
Around the time that they before Quarterback. Around Clint Hill when they got promoted. Was it Derry?
Sean Derry?
Yeah, Sean Derry. Right, was may still be manager. I'm reading a book called Living on the Volcano or Living on a Volcano with Michael Calvin.
Sean Derry lived in a volcano.
He did, it's a book. Yeah, Michael Calvin wrote a book about the secrets of being a football manager, basically. And there's a chapter on each manager. He went and visited managers. Wenger did the foreword to the book, and Sean Derry, he keeps a black book which he writes down all his thoughts in, and then goes back to
A6, I imagine.
Yeah, I imagine for Derry, and
4 pages. I saw. It's lasted him a few seasons.
And he says he writes everything down, and then just
all of his thoughts. It's impossible.
All of his thoughts.
He said any thoughts that he has, which he may need to look back on later. He writes down.
He doesn't strike me as a contemplative human being. Sean Derry.
There's only exits from it.
I wonder what type of clouds those were. And then he goes home and he's like, oh, they're high cast cirrostratus. Oh, that's really interesting.
A bra with some pockets.
Basically, he's Alan Partridge with the dictaphone, isn't he?
He is basically.
Yeah.
There's every chapter.
What if we played without midfielders?
There's a great bit on Ian Holloway in there though. Every chapter is discussing. You know, it's just written like a book. But Ian Holloway is
written like a book.
The first sentence is just, I'm going to let Mr. Holloway talk here. And the whole thing is one big quote, Ian Holloway talking.
I mean, once he started, you can't really stop him, can you?
Calling agents, everything. It's a good book so far. I like Michael Calvin books, so he's a good read.
Right, there's a load of stuff that you've written down. So, what's Hull and wrestling got to do with each other?
Right, Hull WWF. While this is loading, we can just briefly talk about it. They're having a WWF day, as in...
The World Wildlife Fund.
Yeah, they're having a WWF day, and I quote, it's their Sunderland game on September the 16th. So as part of our partnership with global conservation charity WWF, we're officially dedicating the Sunderland fixture as the WWF Match Day. The day will be filled with a variety of experiences and entertainment for all ages, beginning outside before heading inside the stadium to concourses, hospitality suites, and of course the WWF Family Zone. Now,
is this because it's Hull Tigers against Sunderland, who are the Black Cats?
Yeah, I'm imagining it's just they're sponsored by the WWF. They do work with the WWF, and they're assuming that particular game will get more interest. You know, than them versus right. But they're also donating a shit ton of profits. I have to concentrate far too much.
It's a training game, yeah?
Yeah, I know. Right, just press start. We're wasting time. We haven't got
You've
time.
got a start button as well.
I did press it then. But yeah, they're doing like loads of stuff. There's going to be people in WWF. They're going to be talking about conservation, suplexes. And at half time, there's going to be steel chairs involved. They're doing. I would like to think they're going to do like Money in the Bank.
Well, that's what Mr. Alam thought it was when he bought a Premier League football club. Little did he know.
Who's manager at Hull now?
Oh, I don't know.
Rudy's got the sweatpants on.
I don't fucking know. Who's in charge of Hull? Kevin Lisby, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Silver.
No, that's Watford now, mate. He's moved on. He's in the Premier League now. He's very good. Very good. Yeah.
Good forward play from them.
Bringing in Holloway.
Stopped him.
They always bring in Holloway, don't they?
The approach play looked very.
Well, if you're doing your good, if we're doing the feel good corner, talk to me about Barnsley then.
Barnsley linked up with Centre Point.
Lovely.
And they've donated their stadium, so you can sleep in the stadium. Sleeping bags, obviously, and all that. You sleep warm in the stadium. You have to make a donation to Centre Point, and they've invited loads of local businesses and just local residents, but also a lot of first team.
Lovely.
That's a good positive story.
Yeah, I liked it.
That's two really nice stories.
Well, I do like having our good news corner. But yeah, so
well, we do, and that is because just by default, I am an incredibly cynical, unhappy human being, and football is fucking horrible. Modern football doesn't feel particularly nice at times, but that kind of stuff that floats my boat. That does. That's nice. So.
But yeah, no, I thought it was
I need to read more about Hull's WWF encounter.
There is a whole, there's a link to it on their website. It's like a page devoted to it.
Okay.
On their front page.
Good.
But yeah, so it's like bring basically they're bringing come watch a big game for us, and donate money to the WWF.
Lovely. And then Barnsley and Centre Point. Is homelessness acute in Barnsley, or is Centre Point a Barnsley charity, or is there a reason
with the club as well? But
so they're the charitable partners or something, is it?
Yeah.
Good.
But, yeah, and it's literally like you can. Do you want to sleep? You know, they're advertising it to fans and again, a lot of business, especially when it's sponsored the club. They're heavily doing it with. You know, you sponsor this stand or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's the kind of thing your former employer would definitely got involved with, wouldn't it?
But it's like literally you can come here. This money that you do you want to sleep in the ground?
Good place to win the ball here.
But your money will go 100% of it will go to Senate.
Well, that's lovely.
And you know, all you get for it is a sleeping bag for the night. But you can sleep on a pitch, and all the money is going to go to the charity, which is I thought was lovely.
Well, that looked promising.
That is good news. I like that very much. I'm going to read. You slept in a car park once. You did, didn't you? Where were you working in? Was that in Evershed? I thought it was many moons ago.
Is he off?
In a former life. There's a whole other legal firms and solicitors are available.
And he can't get it past the wall.
Yeah, from all good bookstores. It says something so that Calhoun Review know I am here. Say something. Jane Smalley, they are the fucking door bins of a madman. Like, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
In with a chance. That's great work by the goalkeeper.
I'm just glad she knows who you are.
Jesus Christ, that is
The players haven't put the ball down, but the referee said no.
It's so bad, it's affecting your fucking fingers.
I got to play centre.
This is the
I didn't realise that had happened.
Fair enough. What else do you want to talk about this week? You've got a lot written down here.
We have got a lot written down.
You've got a lot down, and we haven't even moved it into the middle position. We've got a central column empty.
Blank. I don't like that. I'm going to have to move that.
I'm going to spitefully leave it there to make you get up.
I quite like it.
Yeah, you would though. You absolutely would. So you got Leicester and Adrian Silva.
Yeah.
Go on then, lead on this one.
They signed Adrian Silva.
Well, they've got his signature
On a free or what?
22 million.
Yeah. When can he play, Luke? Next game?
Well, they would have.
Well, it's definitely next game.
It must be next game.
You
wouldn't
spend that much money.
Willy nilly.
Like willy-nilly
They wouldn't just
posting.
throw it out there, would they? 22 million. No, they can't because they missed the deadline by 14 seconds. Apparently, 14 seconds it was. So they can't register until January.
Could be Peter Eldon.
So they didn't get him. They didn't get the transfer on the system, did they? He's not scored this. He is. Wow.
Yeah, apparently the paper they didn't get it and send it over in time. So I'm assuming. Yeah, it was received, but they were like, "Well, look, I'm sorry, but the clock never lies."
Well, I'm sorry.
I know you've spent.
Rules are there. I don't make the rules.
I know you spent 22 million, but
Presumably, though, if you were smart at all, you would only agree to the transfer pending official sign-off. This is the problem with football clubs. There was a tweet this week, and I will try and dig it out. For what are meant to be elite sporting establishments, the level of amateurishness from top to bottom is absolutely terrifying. And it was relating to something, but if I draft contracts for a living, that clause would be in there, full stop. But if you were up against the wire, well then you say, well, we're not having him, and we'll revisit it in January, where you agree the fee for January, let whoever have it.
On a napkin.
It's fucking crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. And the thing with transfers is you don't have to complete them in time. All you've got to do is get it on the international transfer system.
Attack was looking good. Now the
Yeah, but
opposition have a chance.
as we've seen with Sheffield United, it's the rub of the green, isn't it?
yeah.
That's a terrifyingly honest video, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you posted that as well this week?
Yeah, posted that. Yeah, that was interesting. That was. I enjoyed that video.
What was 14 seconds late? I don't get it.
That's how long the transfer was. That's how late.
Oh, right.
Just 14 seconds.
A lid on this match. There's
Yeah.
a lot of ill feeling down there.
14 seconds. But then the deadline's a deadline. It wasn't 14 seconds late, if you ask me. It was about 3 hours and 14 seconds late.
Yeah.
Like, Such desperation, and the fact they try and suggest that it's down to either brinkmanship or the fact that, you know, they're waiting for, you know, like Messer's don't drop out of the sky.
Yeah.
We're hearing there will be 3 added minutes here.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? It's going back to the old Real Madrid De Gea fucking fax machine fiasco.
Yeah, but that's bullshit, because fax machines they're not used in. Daniel Gray, who's a legal expert who specialises in football and sporting practice, wrote a lovely post a couple of years ago about it, and it's nonsense. Like, fax machines haven't been used for years. There's an international database, and then, you know, player contracts and stuff gets sorted, but nonsense. Anyway,
Fax machine. What about memos?
Memorandums, yeah. I think he's a good footballer, though. I can see why they. I think he's a good footballer. Where are they imagining him playing?
QPS.
Well,
poorly, if he's any good.
Well, Mahrez was sat doing a fucking Tom Hanks in Terminal, wasn't he? He's sat in Charles de Gaulle, just waiting for a transfer. Which was,
attacking power in
I know
this situation.
people were like mocking it, but it's just like, no, it's true. His agent has just said to him, look, there's been, you know, interest in you. That may come to something, it may come to nothing. But if you're on a plane travelling to Africa, you're no good to me, and you're no good to the clubs that are interested in you. So just don't worry about it. They've given you 24 hours.
If only the clubs and everybody else had known that there was going to be international games of football played. Like, if only somebody had told them. Like, the thing that does my head in is that these football clubs, yeah, like, they got a lot on. They got like teenagers to entertain. Like, they've got men monkeys to like stop raping women in clubs and drink driving. Like, they've got loads on. Like, they're fucking busy. And then the bastards, yeah, without telling anybody, they spring a transfer window closing on them.
No one mentioned it.
No one mentioned the thing, yeah. And then on top of that, it's just like, surprise! You've got to send all your players away on international duty for a tournament which nobody knew about many tens of years like previous. Yeah. I just don't see how they can. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, I don't think we give enough sympathy to football clubs.
No, it's imagine. You know, waiting out. Imagine Arry Redknapp. Think of how busy his deadline day was. Jesus Christ.
He's probably got a lot on, hasn't he?
Deadline day. Today.
It's like Christmas for him, though.
What's Harry's wife called? Sandra. That's, I knew one of you would know. I can't remember. Sandra's already making him egg and bacon. Yeah. Sandra's already making him egg and bacon, yeah. She knows he should be eating avocado because his cholesterol's terribly high. But what do doctors know? That's what she said.
No, you don't want avocado.
What do doctors know? It hasn't killed him so far. That's what he says. It hasn't done him any harm as he heaves himself. As he heaves himself up off the sofa.
It's a cheap piece of play to keep the ball away like that.
That's what he's done. Didn't really,
Didn't.
An hour of very good football.
So yeah,
asbestos and that.
That's what they had in the Red Lap House, and it was weird. I mean, they all died at 35, but it was nothing to do with either of those things. It was to do with immigrants.
It
was. Immigrants coming over, stealing our lard.
That's what it was. Immigrants gave Arry Redknapp's dad asbestos.
You don't get asbestosis reference very often.
No.
Right, moving on.
Probably right. Alex Scott.
We're going to have to pretend that we're interested in women's football now that there's a chap involved in the stream, isn't there?
We are.
Christ.
We've talked about it before.
Have we got to pretend that we've spoken about them every week since we started doing this? So, what are we going to say? What are we going to talk? We're obviously going to talk the big news, aren't we? Alex Scott.
That's a fuck off goalkeeper. That's a quote. Alex Scott, she's retired. I've got all the stats on my phone and I'm playing now.
Well, hold off on that then, because...
hold the phone.
Hold the phone.
Because it's an incredible international.
Yeah, she's just an amazing woman, full stop. She's an amazing woman, full stop. Yeah. And if she's a good girl and she keeps her mouth shut, she's not going to be racially abused by her manager.
On the attack here.
But only if she's a good girl and she keeps her mouth shut.
Mendy.
Yeah.
So, are you suggesting that the FA
No, I'm not.
Oh,
what I am suggesting,
that's libelous.
That's liable.
That's
yeah,
a libel.
exactly. Allegedly. What I'm allegedly not saying is that allegedly my employer allegedly really often gives me 80 grand just for fun. Like a little wormy bonus is what they give me. It's just like look. Worm.
You've worked out.
Have some spare. You know you always go on about spare cash, spare money. My employers sometimes there's loads of spare money. I've got loads of spare money because my boss regularly, allegedly doesn't racially abuse me or my family.
Well, he almost definitely allegedly did. He was on telly saying he didn't.
Oh, has he said it on telly?
Yes.
Oh well, Luke needs to shut a fucking whore mouth then. I cannot believe. Did he, on television he said it?
Yeah.
Oh well, then I can't believe she's fucking.
You can't go back on that.
What's she doing now? She's going to pretend that she's got something like, I don't know, like a law degree or something, is she now?
Yeah, something like that.
She's going to pretend that she's an incredibly bright, unbelievably educated woman who happens to be good at loads of things.
Yeah. No,
he said on telly.
He said it on telly and she just said it in the Sun. So...
She could have picked it out of the newspaper, couldn't she? Did she actually do it in the Sun?
Yeah, it was the Sun. I mean, at least it won the Mail. Fucking hell. The Mail could have had the...
I mean, the Mail wouldn't let her through the door. She's black and a woman. The Mail were never going to let her through the door.
Imagine that, her agent ringing.
It was a tap in.
No.
And the goalkeeper
Front cover.
the ball into his path.
This is before I paid Brexit.
20 goals like that a season if you think.
Unbelievable. Right, so Ozil Instagram.
Ozil Instagram.
You're a strong driver of this train today, aren't you?
You've got
Looks like it's going to be a back to the wall performance. Not ideal at all.
Star Rock. Wrecking ball.
It's been a thrilling contest this.
Are you winning as well?
We're into the last
Mazza.
moments of it.
Talk to me about Mesut Ozil.
They're not
He did
showing any sign
Instagram post.
of
Again,
busyness down
annoyingly,
there.
I can quote it, but we're 82 minutes in, so we can talk now. He basically did an Instagram post celebrating his 4 years
Trying to
last.
switch on the
But
attacking
it
power in
turned
this situation.
into... No, you can do
Threading the
multi-posts
path through
now.
deeply.
No way. Talk me through that.
Right, so you can post more than one picture without...
Great chance. Oh, the extra player.
That is dogged persistence. That is.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. That was dogged.
See, now on Instagram, if you want to, you've been out, you've had a meal, you've taken a photo, you've taken
Gabble Kirai there in goal.
Done enough for a good football team.
That's ludicrous. He's doing it for Anderson Silva, but missing. What have I done now? I got another injury. I got 2 red cards. I'm loving this game.
Unbelievable.
I'm bringing a keeper on that.
I'm awful.
You're not.
Nah, I've run out of subs, have I?
No, you're just not allowed to bring a keeper on.
What?
Listen.
Dave James.
What sort of bullshit is this?
Martinez looks like the police officer. Like a police. Go back to him. Go down in your subs. He looks like a police officer from a Scandinavian drama. He's an alcoholic and his wife's leaving him because he's fallen in love with a dead
what was
woman.
that Sky Atlantic one with Dumbledore in?
They're all... What, with Gambon?
Yeah.
The Bridge?
No,
The American version of Hinterland?
It was...
3-1 the scoreline as we restart the game.
completely escaped me now.
Nobody's here for Gambon,
That's a
chat.
great
No.
interception.
Always Dumbledore. Always fun.
Willian Joseph.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm bringing it back. We're talking about...
Attacking well here.
Albus Dumbledore then, show some respect.
You fucking adult.
Right, Instagram now you can post more than one picture. So you're out in a restaurant, you're at Jamie Oliver's, I'm imagining, and you can post...
Italian place.
Yeah, you've taken a picture of each.
Who goes to Jamie Oliver's?
You've gone to Jamie Oliver's, you've gone to Jamie's,
3 minutes from
and
I'm not nibbling, Jamie.
you've taken a picture of every single course, and you think, that's 4 posts, not anymore, because you can post more as one post, and people just slide by the use of thumbs.
The use of thumbs.
By the use of thumbs. There's opposable
potential in this move.
Bloody love opposable thumbs.
Challenges for the ball.
I'm a big fan of them myself.
Yeah, I tell you, FIFA would be fucking rock without opposable thumbs.
Right
Referee
now.
brings it all to an
Naturally.
end at 3-1. Well, sometimes
It's me and you.
No.
So
So
me and you.
is it?
It's meant to be more punishment for
Right,
you.
sorry, let me just put up here. Here
But
it is.
should we just play again so we can do all the talking? Because neither of us have got any idea what we're talking about this week.
Right, he celebrated.
Should we play again or what? Because he needs his phone.
Sorry, it's really quick. He celebrated his 4-year anniversary and then said, during the last couple of days, my German teammates have been asking me about how everything at Arsenal is at the moment. They claim to have read about the current crisis through the media.
Claim to? He's doubting him.
As pundits and former players are commenting on a daily basis. They say this could be the worst team in Europe. Well, this is what I was going to go and say, because he has famously got a media team.
Mogul. I like the word mogul.
They say this could be the worst team in years, even decades.
They say.
I'm writing this text together with people that are close to me, people that I pay.
Did they say that?
No. We've got something to celebrate. Although no match was won, our trophy was lifted today. Arsenal and I are celebrating our anniversary. 4 years ago I was transferred in. Arsenal made me convince me. He told me about the great history of this club and its living legends such as Bergkamp, Vieira, Pires, who were a large part of their success to him. Arsenal told me how he would help me develop as a player, and this is something every player wants to hear. Struggle with the Premier League initially. I'm not a great admirer of the position that I was playing. I was put on the left wing. I'm not a great admirer of that. I am a number 10. Playing in the centre, I feel I can control the game and generate chances. Premier League is physically more demanding. The interesting part, though, was going on about he's achieved, 3 FA Cup victories. Personally, I've had to accept a lot of criticism during my time in London. Too expensive, too greedy, bad body language, lacking fight.
Post that?
Yes, like 7 pages. This is what people have said about me. Some of these comments are made by those who do not know me. Some are made by former players, both successful and unsuccessful during their time at the club. Criticism is something that all football players have to deal with. I nevertheless expected legends to behave like legends. My advice to these former Gunners is stop talking and start supporting. Thank all the Gunners who have supported me. Met both Brendan and Charlie. They support the club despite their illness. Their strength and positive messages constantly motivate me. Moreover, I'm thankful for all the other personal relationships made over the past few years. I look forward to my 5th season with Arsenal. This is because Arsenal is a great club with great people and great traditions.
Just great.
I'm proud to be able to wear your shirt, Gunners. I've had so many great moments in the last 4 years, and I really appreciate what this club means to the people of London, the UK and the world. So yeah, he basically just kicked off at ex-Arsenal players.
It's not really kicking off, is it?
Shut up and start supporting.
No. Yeah, but the ex-players don't necessarily support the club, do they? That doesn't make any sense. He's not an Arsenal fan, so when he leaves, he won't be.
So this is how the hosts line up today.
Maybe a Schalke fan, wouldn't he?
We've got it down as a 4-3-3.
Yeah, it's a system that the Netherlands used to
don't
use
care. Like,
all the time.
I'm sorry, you did a lot of reading then, but I don't know what you were expecting.
Yeah, no, I just thought it was interesting.
If it works,
I just thought it was especially because, again, listening to the Stats Bomb Deadline Day podcast that they did, saying that, like, from what him saying, there's not really a lot of interest in this.
Well, they put him up for sale.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of interest.
Yeah, why would there be?
We need to. Onto the attack now.
Which is, I think he's.
If you look at the coaching manual,
going for goal.
He's a lovely player. He's an absolutely lovely player, and like Olivier Giroud, at international level, where the game is very, very different, the kid is absolutely incredible. So against Norway and against Czech Republic. Who did Germany play this week? Norway and Czech Republic, I'm going to guess. He was absolutely ridiculous. But you have a load of time on the ball.
Looked very good indeed.
You have an absolute load of time on the
ball.
Did
you hear what Henry said about Arsenal when they lost?
What did he say about them?
Arsenal it's too comfortable in the club. It's a lovely club, but it's too comfortable. There's no pressure. If you win or lose, he said, that it's a comfortable environment.
It's too comfortable. It's too comfortable. So comfortable that Thierry Henry refused to take that job because he wanted to do punditry for considerably more money because they were only going to pay him what they pay everybody else at junior level coaching. Thierry Henry needs to shut his fucking mouth. Like, don't be that man. Like.
Well, they've been
he shouldn't be that man though. Like, whatever. Anyway, I'm done with Arsenal. I'm talking about that shit.
He's coming forward with some danger.
Yeah, no, it's. But no, it was quite interesting. What I found was quite because last week we actually mentioned Özil and his media team. We actually talked about it in regards to like Charlie Adam screenshotting something he could have written out in the tweet. So I thought it was, you know, obviously it's calculated and
yeah, of course it was.
I don't know what his aim was. Because if there's no interest in him and Arsenal are willing to sell, we're willing to sell him or are willing to sell him, but no one's coming in for him. What's your aim? Is it just to sort of get Arsenal fans on board? Or is there a rallying cry to almost to try and convince the club to offer him a more lucrative contract? Or
no,
just
they've been offered 280 grand a week. Him and Alexis Sanchez were offered in the last week of the transfer window.
Was he hoping that Barca were going to come in because they went in for Di Maria? Were they was he? You know, that's one thing I thought. I
think what he's doing is
Barca seem to go through a stage where they're like, "Fuck, we've got to get some."
No, I genuinely think he's just trying to protect his brand.
Yeah.
You know, he's very, very media conscious, which is fine. You know, like you can't criticise, as you say, you know, Charlie Adam for being Charlie Adam, and then also. Oh, score! Oh, that would have been fucking filthy. If you're not watching on YouTube, then that's your own bloody fault. Or Twitch, actually, is where I'd rather you watch. Twitch TV/Wormatron.
It's a very good interception.
Get me in there, key to the door, like Steven Gerrard to Thierry Henry, England, France.
Hang on, hopefully this is done right now. Watch the laptop.
Goes for it with a fist.
What's the laptop?
The laptop. Right, click that link.
Click a link? What's a link?
A real chance here.
James Morley will click it.
And he's not let the ball escape his grasp.
No. Not even with their abscess. A bloody abscess. So yeah, so Ozil's just incredibly media savvy, which is fine.
To get away from the defender.
Yeah. Bloody Nora, where's he going? Where's he going? It's not Tony, but it is a Yeboah.
Who's who?
I am Rotterdam, and so I'm Sparta, and Skinner is Steve McLaren FC.
This fella made sure he had an end product to that wonderful bit of
Yoni Yeboah, that is.
So the first goal, it's 1-0.
Right, do you want to hear, going back now because I got my phone.
One more thing.
Yeah.
I heard someone, like, you know, with the whole Barcelona need to buy someone. There was a little debate on TalkSport of why wasn't Ericsson touted because he can play those roles.
Deceive the referee. Credit to the player.
Set pieces as well, and instead of getting Coutinho rolling in the next. Do you think he would have actually gone?
Christian Eriksen is unbelievable. He's given a penalty, that's really annoying. Christian Eriksen is unbelievable.
He's more advanced than Coutinho, I think so, with the experience he's got.
Coutinho for Brazil's a different beast. They're different players. They're different players.
Who would you think Eriksen would fit in, slide into that Barcelona team?
Not in that role, no, because they were looking for a left-sided forward, and Christian Eriksen wouldn't play there. Christian Eriksen is probably who I've said this before, who they should be getting to replace Busquets and Iniesta. And I love you both of them because, you know, as a partnership, and I think that Eriksen could play that role. I think it's very telling that Dele Alli is shit for England, and we've gone through this before. The reason why I think Dele Alli, Kane, and the other English boys are shit is because they haven't got the really good foreigners making them better. They haven't got Jan Vertonghen, they haven't got Ben Davis. They haven't got. That's disappointing. Your goal was really good, and it still only counted as one. And that was a pile of wank, and that still counts as well. What have you got there? What's that? What's your little Twitch notification up there?
I think they just wanted it more.
What's it say now?
Oh, that's when I went into get the link.
Very nice. So yeah, I think Christian Eriksen is a wonderful footballer, and he will play at the very highest level.
Yeah, he's a great player. He had a good. I saw some of his highlights, so I didn't watch the game. but he's had a good.
Came in with the challenge and the ball broke free.
Oh, he's fantastic. He was fantastic.
Well, I've got it out. Just moving back slightly. Do you want to hear Alex Scott stats?
Yeah, please.
Right, Alex Scott, retires from England ladies. 140 caps. Yeah. 12 goals. Played in 3 World Cups and 4 European Championships.
Very encouraging.
Absolutely unbelievable. Everybody to a woman in that squad apparently loves her. It's really nice. It must be lovely for her as well to finally retire, and also to retire at a time when women's football, ladies football, however you wish to call it, is getting the attention that it is, because there have been, you know, former England greats, etc. They've kind of just gone at, no, because it's 2 halves again, football.
Oh, I thought it was full time.
No. And so yeah, to get the attention that she's got must be really satisfying, because yeah, there would have been people who've retired in, like, well, that's that now, you know. Well done for getting 100 caps, but like, you're going now, you're gonna have to go back to whatever role it was you were doing before, you know, physio, or you know, some of the more traditional jobs that the girls would have back in the day. But it's fucking, being able to be professional footballer now, like, it's so exciting. So yeah, I think she's a wicked footballer. She seems to be lovely. Everybody loves her. And yeah, they reckon she'll be hugely missed, but she can concentrate. But what's lovely is that she's not just retiring to go and have a baby or something, like actually going to concentrate on her professional career now. No, but they do. They do. Like, there's that sad, you know, it's female sport at all. You know, look at Serena Williams, etc. You know, you've got to actively make a decision to, you know, put a stop in your career, whereas all the blokes, fucking hell.
Until that challenge.
It's like, well, yeah, now you're pregnant, love. I'm going to work. See you later.
Now they've got a chance in this part of the pitch
with the Calhoun, the FIFA Ramble Instagram. I decided just to follow, you know, like, obviously there's loads of footballers on there. Although that's the way to do it. So I saw
well to keep the ball.
Fran
Kirby.
Scott Kirby, thank you. Fran Kirby put a picture up, so I liked it. And then when you follow someone on Instagram, it gives you a list of suggestions based on them. So
Moving
I thought,
forward with some danger to the opposition. Now they're here.
You go through, and it's sort of to prove a point to all the people who say, yeah, no, women's football will never be big. If they're American, they've got like 2 million followers. Like 2-3 million followers.
Yeah.
But then
is it Megan Rapasco? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's got a fair few fucking followers as well. Unbelievable.
It's ridiculous that you've got.
It's amazing.
There's a lot of female players in America are just their social medias are massive. So everyone over here who's just like, nah, it's not real football. I heard it so many times over the summer. There's no real football.
Whistle's gone.
There is.
Free kick.
The Euros are on.
Yeah, exactly.
That's real football. What are you talking about? Don't be stupid. It's real football. Just watch it. Give it a chance. It's on free TV.
Or Colchester play.
Yeah, exactly. it's live international football on free telly. Shut up and watch it, because, you know. And then you've got some of the England players who've got like 3,000 followers, but then fucking Americans, they're loving it, millions. So it just proves there is an audience there. There's already an audience there for women's football.
Yeah,
it's ready-made. It will cost, as we've talked about many times, it costs fuck all for a club to set up a women's team. All they need to do is get it out there, market it in the right way, almost like Man City did with their New York.
Yeah, I suppose the thing like that there, though, I chip in, is it's not even necessarily, and I know we bang on about Manchester United and stuff, like, it might not even be about setting up more clubs. Just fucking fund the ones that exist.
Yeah.
You know, it's all well and good me sat here, you know, being a casual fan of women's football for however long, you know, I'm really not a big fan, but, you know, I can talk a little bit about women's football, and, you know, I can name England starting, probably 8 or 9 of the England starting players for a long while and stuff, but it's easy to sit there and say, well, you know, maybe there should just be more clubs that are better funded. Well, no, not at all. Probably fund the ones that exist. They're probably fucking begging for money, some of them, isn't it? Delighted with my keeper.
Yeah, fearless.
20 minutes now.
Yeah, no, I just thought it was interesting.
We're watching a very evenly contested game.
It's there, the audience is there, you just mark it correctly.
Dominate the ball.
That's all it'll take. And I think Man City will be the one that would do it, because they've already got that brand exposure, if you want, in America. Yeah, they've got it there. So if they can break into that,
well read by the defender.
You know,
they're still hamstrung though by the college system.
Yeah.
Not in terms of the international performance, obviously they win World Cups, etc. But that is such shit defending.
Oh! And that would have been the equaliser.
Christ, he's had that nice.
What a chance that was, and I don't know whether he's going to get another in this match.
Yeah, no, I thought it was interesting that as I was looking at it, and there were players who won the Euros. One of them had less followers than me. Well, I've never accomplished anything.
Very much in free kick.
Oh, that's not true. You got a draw against one of us on stream, didn't you? The other
I've beaten him twice on stream.
You've drawn.
We've drawn.
You've drawn with him.
Yeah, I've got a draw. That's the best I've done with you. Is a draw.
Last minute.
I could have got a last minute winner as well. Forever.
Back with an interception.
That's going to be my gravestone. That is. Died frustrated. Could have got a last minute winner.
Now's the chance to counter at them.
Well,
possibly booking this.
Busquets would have done it. Yeah. You give me no option.
See what he was trying to do, Alan.
You give me no option.
Should we talk about the? Oh, do you know what we should do actually?
Moving forward.
You got Reader's Lives or something?
I have. There's a little thing. They released the 2016-17 wages this year
for
just in European. It's the top. Which clubs?
What? So everybody's accounts are now in from 16-17.
It was who pays the most wages, basically. So it was how much money went out in wages, and they did, I don't think it was like in the Mirror or some shit, but they did like a little graphic infographic. So it was just top club. So at the top.
Very big miss.
Anyone want to take a guess? Or just want to read it?
PSG?
No.
Man City?
No.
Manchester United?
No, they were second, United. Barca.
Yeah, well, I'm only surprised that it's Barca because can you imagine how big that wage bill actually is?
Yeah, it's 279 million.
Well, yeah, but that's sorry. What I was getting at was, can you imagine how much it actually is versus what they've declared?
Yeah. So they 279 million.
Talk to me about wages. Talk to me about net wages.
United paid 265. Then it was Chelsea. 256. Then Real, Man City. But something that was interesting, which was down the bottom, Crystal Palace. 80 million a year they pay on wages. Then it's West Brom on 84. Then it's Atletico Madrid on 86. Above them, Sunderland. Sunderland pay more on pay did last season. Obviously that'll go down. Atletico Madrid pay 86 million. But it's all going sterling, so the equivalent of in wages, and Sunderland pay 90.
That's a lot. But then you know why? You know, we've spoken about the inflationary forces in the Premier League and how nonsense it is and stuff. So yeah, I'd like to be surprised. I'm not in the slightest surprised. Not in the slightest am I surprised by that at all. You want to talk about La Liga? Have you got any questions?
I have. Gormleysaurus is in.
There he is.
Gormleysaurus has joined just as we're going to do Reader's Wives, because one of them is his.
That's the only reason he comes in. He's only come in for his bit.
He heard Reader's Wives, he's straight in.
Who are you looking for? Oh. I didn't even know whether they're on there. They got promoted last season, so they'll be in Liga.
His question, the Gormleysaurus, asked.
That's Tor. He'll be next. That way, right. Oh, maybe they are up there.
There you go.
There. I knew they were in Liga.
He asked, how can England be so shit when I'm told every day that every player is worth over £50 million.
That's we're going to go back to what we say, isn't it? It's not that every player's worth over £50 million. It's that there is a club that has the finances to and is prepared to pay £50 million.
Yeah.
They're not worth £50 million. You're also told by the
Spurs thing.
It's a stupid question because you know the answer to it already.
We've just mentioned the Spurs thing.
Exactly.
And they're left on their own without good quality around them.
Dave Benson Phillips up front for Troyes. He's not looking good, is he? Get your own back. A teacher has told him to go and play up front for Troyes. No, it's nonsense, isn't it? And as Skinner was saying, you're absolutely right. It's English players are worth £50 million because they play with Christian Eriksen and Jan Vertonghen and Hugo Lloris, and they play with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Yeah, that's why. So they're not worth £50 million.
False economies.
Exactly. Go on, another one. You got another one?
The other one is talking about it's a fantasy football question I've got. I've also got...
I'm your man. I know everything that needs to be known about fantasy football.
A lot of them were international based.
Go on then, go for them.
This week. We had a lot of... someone said, what do Wales need to do to win the group?
Get more points than...
Yeah, there is that.
Than everybody else.
The thing is, there's not really a lot they can do because it's out of their hands. They're not playing soon.
Hi there, everybody. Welcome to the
they haven't got. I prefer. I don't really care. They're not going to win the group. It's not going to happen. I quite like the idea though of the playoff. Who's going to reach the playoffs? Be in the last game, which is the Republic of Ireland, in Cardiff City Stadium.
It's Millennium Stadium.
Yes, in Cardiff.
Line up for the home side.
Is it Ireland game?
I think that back four is really important for them. They've got to be strong and solid, but they've got a bit of protection, haven't they?
I tell you, there's a bit of tension in the room. There's a bit of tension in the room over that.
In front of them, they've got players who are going to be.
I thought it was at Penydarren Park, but it shows what I know about football.
We'll wait and see. Was it race ground? Or was it race
the race course.
The vet.
In Wrexham. Is this the section where we use name Welsh football stadiums? Yeah, to prove that we all know something more obscure than that.
Jenna Park.
Jenna Park. That was going to be the natural conclusion there.
Gormisaurus is in. He's asking.
What's
he asking?
Why did I just transfer Rooney into my fantasy football team? Because you're a fucking idiot. Next.
Classic Gormisaurus.
Yes, you're an idiot. That's why.
I think he'll straighten his life out. I think he'll quit. He'll quit the alcohol.
He'll quit. He won't
quit the alcohol. His wife's having another baby.
Yeah, he won't quit the alcohol. He's definitely not quitting horses.
Looking good, this move.
The media circus around Wayne Rooney was quite good.
Well, that looked promising.
Now that he's not.
I bet you found it hilarious now he's not a Man United player.
Well, he's not protected by the Man United kayfabe, is he?
Very good.
Anymore.
Tried to tackle here.
Very good.
He hasn't got Ferguson to sort of glare at journalists anymore. To be like, don't report it.
Well, this attack.
Don't report it. We'll give you a fluff story on Quinton Fortune.
And here's the shot.
We'll give you a behind the scenes on exactly what Anderson's BMI was in his last season at Manchester United.
But typical.
My nipples out again there. Callum's going to be livid. Talksport had callers today saying we should look into Messi and other players that may miss the World Cup or making up a neutral team just so the world sees them play. So question is, why are these people allowed to use the phone without supervision? Well, I'd say the same reason why you're allowed to use keyboard without supervision. Gormley, and ask silly questions about Wayne Rooney.
I genuinely, that question went right up there.
Yeah.
I was dropping. I was losing interest.
You like that? Did you too?
I did like that.
Enjoy that.
Christ, the standards are dropped. Jesus, I genuinely had high hopes for this podcast at one point.
I just don't think they ever rose.
Oh, I had high hopes for this thing.
Plateaued on a low level.
No, it's good. Right. Rooney isn't gonna. What's that? Who have Everton got this weekend? We've got to do that in a bit. We've got to do the preview.
We have got to do the preview. We'll do that before we finish.
Because we don't need to do fantasy football roundup.
No! Oh, we finished. That top right hand corner is that you? Are you scoring? Fucking hell! Skinner Blue is what? Absolutely wrecking me on the record earlier this week though. He's got nothing left.
What was their score? Because I was tuning in and out. I had to get a child ready for the delights of high school. That
big school.
Big school.
Have you explained to her that being anything other than a complete sheep is going to be completely outcast now? Any independent thought is going to be disliked by your peers and your teachers? Yeah, did you explain that the food that she eats will be scrutinised by everybody? The amount, too much, too little?
We've talked it through all of this.
You've had all that.
The good thing about it is they're both of my children. Skylar cares more in general than the little one. The little one genuinely couldn't give a fuck. Like, she doesn't care about your... She could be dressed in a dinosaur costume and someone could come up to her and say, you look stupid, and she just look and go, why do I give a shit, what do you think?
I mean, she should probably not swear so much.
She just...
She's giving me an awesome card today as well.
Yeah, she did.
She what?
She's giving me a card.
Oh, I ain't getting fucking cards from these people.
She was actually going to do it, and then he pulled up and I said, don't make the card, because if I turn up late and I say, she made the card, he's going to shout at me.
I'd take a card off Sid.
She's the one that we got no concerns about. But Skylar's already...
How did it go today?
They only brought back 2 years. They brought back 7 and 8 for the first day. So
is that right? They're bringing the littles in first. Nice.
So that it's not a big rush and it's not too much for them on the first day.
Yeah. So when did they go back? Yesterday?
Yesterday was her first day.
So she's had 2 days, is she?
She's had 2 now. She's got same history teacher as Nick.
Very well.
And
who would that be?
Mr.
Thomas. That's who Sinead had. Is there Mrs. Thomas as well?
I don't know.
I think there was. Mr. Thomas, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that I wrote Sinead's A-level coursework for her. Having never studied history, I'm pretty sure. It was on the Russian Parliament, pretty sure.
This is the most niche football podcast in the world.
It's
just talking about Vale Grimald.
Talking about schools in
secondary schools.
Well, that's
right,
good.
She's on City.
Yeah, which one?
It did go very well. She's enjoying it so far, but she's 2 days in.
Good challenge.
And
has she got a boyfriend yet? Is she pregnant? Did she get stabbed? They're the only 3 questions every day I'd ask.
Yeah, in work I was asked because I spoke to her at lunch. When I went into the post office, rang her on a Thursday. How are you doing? Went back, went on the office, said, how was your first day? I was like, yeah, no. Your finger done morning and now she's pregnant. And she's like, I was like, look, this is the world we live in.
It happens. It's basically like prison, I'm imagining, in those schools. I imagine she's being called like a narc and she's being called all sorts. God, I think kids forget that.
What do you guys know about Zappa Costa other than him having an amazing surname?
He's also an amazing footballer.
I'm not familiar with him at all.
Really, really good. I presume you're talking about the Zappa Costa that came from Torino? Is that who we're talking about?
Imagine.
Or are we talking about the Zappa Costa from Napoli? Let me have a little look, because there are 2.
Good this move.
Let me have a little look.
What do you think Kagawa's going to be like a stick?
Oh, he spotted the pass and cut it out.
Oh.
And it's a shot now.
Let's have a look.
And did he show anything? He did say it was.
Right. Sorry, to go back to Gormley's question though, Gormleysaurus. It is the one that played for Torino, and I think we've probably covered this before. So Torino's minor Skinners, you know, like I've told you before, anybody that bothers listening, but I do support about 30 football clubs, just because football's amazing. And Torino is the real team in Italy. He's a good footballer. He's very, very similar. In lots of ways to Marcus Alonso in terms of not necessarily playing style and stuff, but his profile. Kind of, I get the feeling that he'll come in, people won't really understand him. They'll take a little while to get used to the way that he plays, and then eventually he'll become like a really, really vital player. Probably a squad player for a little while. I think he's a really good footballer. I think he'll settle well. I'd like him at Arsenal, but if that's any indication for how good he is, Luke will be able to tell you how likely he is to score fantasy football points. Yeah, I think he's a good footballer.
Is he on corners? That's what we need to know.
Is that a good thing? Is that for cheeky assists?
Assists, yeah. Ollie Burke is apparently on corners, so get ready for a points haul.
Well, that's a penalty, surely. Just hammering those buttons, boys. You hammer the life out of those buttons, and that was composed, yeah. Happy with that review? Christ. No, in all seriousness, he's really good. Yeah, he is. I can't really say much more than that. I didn't see Torino in pre-season, which is a letdown for everyone because I'm sure everybody expected me to have watched them. So I don't know whether he actually played much. They faffed around their team quite a lot last season. Torino, they had a weird mixed back three, back five. They had fucking Joey out there as well, shouting, Senor, shouting just at people, just punching Italian ball boys.
Bless him.
Getting slated for being shit and not understanding why he wasn't getting protected. He's like, well, I play this well in England normally and I get 7 out of 10. It's like, yeah, but you're getting 4, mate, because we're giving you the honest review.
Yeah, apparently one of the Torino
pardon?
Good run.
Yeah, got some pent-up aggression about Joe Hart and English players.
He's coming forward.
Well, that's it. Sorry, what were you saying?
One of the Torino ultras groups. I don't know if they're an ultra group, but fan
Oscar Trejo.
Clubs. I think of the word club then. When they were asked about Joe Hart, they went, well, I'm sure he's a nice bloke, but he's not a footballer.
Yeah, well, he's not, is he?
Not a footballer. Not a good one. Just he's not a footballer.
No, he's not.
It's a poor cross. Not well hit
He's
at
not
all.
very good.
He's an English myth, isn't he?
Defending
He really
side.
is.
Because he had a good season at Birmingham.
Chelsea might start shaping up to have a League 11 and Champions League 11. Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Conte's done it before. He did it at Chelsea the first season. Fucking hell. Sampdoria, Parma, right? Who are all the Italian clubs, right? At Juve.
I don't even know what that was for. That's at bullshit. That's what that is.
Bullshit.
Can you smell it? I'm calling it.
Is he giving that a penalty?
Yeah, penalty.
The ball wasn't
Referee. Racist.
If the ball wasn't there though, you don't give a penalty anyway because the guy wasn't going to score.
He's done the job. He's the specialist.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Juve had 2 squads, so Alexandro playing in certain games and not, Bonucci Chiellini playing in certain games and not. They played through the midfield as well. Up front they had, they had all sorts. Where like Cuadrado was playing like midweek games and then Champions League. And the interesting thing that might happen at Chelsea as well is that those 2 squads changed. So while the league had to be secured, the preference took place for the Premier League, well, the Italian League 11 was the stronger, in inverted commas, one, and then as they progressed out of the group and the league looked more secure, then the first team became the Champions League team. So it'd be interesting to see if there's that kind of progression at Chelsea this season. Terrifying if true, because there's a good squad there. I just don't know whether you've got enough players. This is an absolute shit show for the area. This is the only thing worse. The only thing worse than this podcast is the football on it. Toivonen is a wicked footballer. Any revisions to end of season predictions? Yeah, well, apparently at some point I said that fucking Spurs were going to win the league.
Hands down. Hands down.
I don't know why I said that. I didn't believe it then.
I think the words Atakanta were used.
Oh yeah, they probably were. That's exactly the kind of fucking hyperbolic bluster that I've come up with. So why would I have said that?
I don't know, but I remember at the time me going, oh, I should say Spurs.
I did. I stayed away.
It's not going to be Spurs because teams at Move Stadium don't win the league. That is, and that's not just
That's Karen Brady. She knows.
That
was the most successful stadium migration in history. So
fucking Emirates is looking pretty fucking dandy at the moment, isn't it?
That was it. The most we've overseen the most successful stadium migration in football.
Well, they have in terms of finances, yeah. In terms of making the board a load of money.
To build that fucker.
Yeah, well, neither did Man City.
Working away to try and find an opening. To take the lead.
Fuck me. This is unbelievable.
This is my favourite thing ever. Being 50% of this game is better than being 50% of the penalty in my champion.
This could be Arsenal Crystal Palace at the moment. This is this bad.
Well, it would be 2-1 if it wasn't for the racist referee giving that penalty.
I think you just explained how.
Thingy? Is it the goal you saw?
No. Think you've just explained how to manage being in the Champions League and going for the title. Well, yeah, I'd like to claim it as my own, but that is what Conte did. You have two as close. It was 2 8s rather than 2 11s. 2 7.5 maybe with Juve, and then you switch them up. Obviously, the difficulty you're going to have though, and I hate fucking these tropes, but the Premier League is just a different beast. It is a different beast, and it'll be interesting to see how they fare. Chelsea's got a good squad. They've got a fucking good manager.
Could be the winner. Terrific stop.
Go on.
In with a chance.
Brilliant.
That is exactly what I would hope for.
Any better.
That was perfect. Fuck me. That is absolutely dreadful.
That's the best game we've been involved in. It couldn't have ended any better than that.
Can't believe what we've got here. Right, have you got Chat Wiltshire?
I haven't been Chat Wiltshire.
No, he's done fuck all this week except not signed for Birmingham.
Well, that's fine. I mean, I've also not signed, but have you signed for Birmingham?
I haven't.
Who's those?
That's because you're a terrific lad. You are a terrific lad.
Yeah, a fax thing goes through and I was 40 seconds late.
It's 40 seconds on the fax.
Your favourite stadium visited? Well, Alan Smith's is the Bernabeu. He says it on FIFA every week. Mine Tyler loves the Bayer Arena, or whatever it's called, the Allianz Arena. This is official sponsored name. Luke, the favourite stadium that you've ever visited?
The Amsterdam Arena was pretty good.
I'm getting on Misty and going old school Ninian Park just because it's personal.
Ninian Park was fucking banging, to be fair.
Ninian Park was good. Again, it sort of ties it. I saw him play Ajax in pre-season friendly. And you're there, jumping up and down, chatting fireworks.
Yeah, mine. This is the problem, and it's really shit. So my favourite is going to be Highbury.
Old Trafford is up there, to be fair. Old Trafford's like my favourite ground.
But that's more memories, though, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Because Old Trafford's not a great ground, is it?
No,
it's not.
It depends on where you are. The best time I've had at Old Trafford was when I was in the Stretford and when we beat Arsenal.
Yeah, there you go.
It was perfect.
Yeah,
it was just utterly perfect. To the point where now I will not sit in the Stretford end. I've had offers of tickets and I'm like, no. Because my one memory of the Stretford end is my favourite memory of being in Old Trafford. And I want that to be
Yeah, that's fair enough. So, Ninian Park and Highbury, there are loads of similarities between those grounds. There really are. But the one that I love about both of those is the camber pitch. So there was an enormous camber on Ninian Park, absolutely fucking enormous, and it was also really, really pronounced at the end of Highbury as well, towards the end. And there were just some lovely memories of seeing Freddie Ljungberg, like half of Freddie Ljungberg. Just if you sit real low down on halfway line, which I was lucky enough to see a couple of times. There was just this fucking beautiful Swedish melon just just running his socks off, scoring a bag load of goals at the back post. And then another one which is lovely is St James's Park. Like, for its size is incredible. What it means to the people is incredible. But I just love, you walk through Newcastle City Centre, and I know people say this about Millennium Stadium, which will probably get mentioned, but you go to St James's Park and you're walking through Newcastle, and it's not the nicest place. You know, the centre is pretty grim at times, and then you go through Chinatown and you turn the corner, and this just monolithic beast just rears up in front of you.
It's the stand, isn't it?
It's fucking incredible, man. And then the noise in there is absolutely banging. So we watched Man United play Newcastle. Up there, that's a lovely stadium. Then there are loads. Montpellier Stadium is absolutely beautiful.
Just quite an interesting. But again, it's not for I forgot the name.
Craven Cottage,
Hawthorns.
The Hawthorns
and Ellen Road.
Yeah, so I've never been to either of those. Craven Cottage is absolutely banging. End of a terrace, one entrance. Sadler, a friend of ours, used to play football. Used to play like Division 9 football, literally across the river from Craven Cottage.
I went to Loftus Road not that long ago.
Yeah,
not that long ago, like a couple of months back.
Best parking at a football stadium though was Chelsea in the late 90s. There we go. What have we got here? Old Trafford, Millennium, Emirates, Riverside, and the new Wembley, all great. And no butterflies. Worked at Loftus Road is worse in real life. I bet it is. Zoe Williams watching this shit.
Yeah, she's in.
Do something better with your life. You're a talented, beautiful young lady. Go away.
Something I want to touch on. Not Zoe Williams.
That was a dangerous, funny, interesting segue there. I'm going to let that happen.
I'm still not. Yeah, hang on. We talked about my mother sucking his jubbly last week. Something which we've talked about before. I'm moving on. Something we talked about before, and we need.
I'm not letting us go anywhere.
Is the English youth playing abroad? Yeah.
English youth.
So what I've done this week, I've picked a couple of players which I'm sure we can add to, but just to monitor them throughout the season. I'm saying before we went live in. He's not on the list, he's not on the list because I didn't. He's
not the demographic rule.
Right.
Hopefully you've got the Willock.
Right. We got Sancho, obviously gone to Dortmund.
Yeah, but he's not going to play. That's pointless.
No, he's on there. He's on there.
Well, he's not playing. Well,
they've got the youth tournament coming up.
Right, I'm telling you that he's not playing.
But I just want to see what happens, even if it's at under 21 level or whatever.
Check back.
He's
not playing.
He's not playing.
And then that'll be that. And they'll be like, you almost had a sniff.
Yeah,
and then be like,
it's just interesting to see where he goes.
Nowhere.
How he does. Right, Chris Willock, Benfica.
He'll get some game time.
Yeah. Ryan Kent. He's gone on loan from Liverpool to SC Freiburg.
I know nothing about Kent.
Ryan
I don't
Kent.
even. Do you know what position he plays?
I believe he's a centre back. I'm sure he is.
That would make sense because they just don't register for me. Unless they're Lauren Koscielny.
Shall I do a quick
What's the next on the list though? After
it?
Kent.
Hang on, I'm already typing Ryan, I can't go back.
He's already Googling Google.
Oh, winger.
Right, I've seen a lot of youth football. I don't remember him at all, which means he's probably got love.
But he's got on loan to SC Freiburg from Liverpool. Next one is Kalen Hines.
Good footballer.
Signed for Wolfsburg.
Well, and we said before.
A shout from Wolfsburg, then.
Yeah, like Wolfsburg, they got a really good setup. Anders Juncker, who was at Arsenal, the youth setup at Arsenal for a very, very short period of time. He was probably too good to be in that shit setup. So he's fucked off, and he's taken Freddie Ljungberg with him, and recommended a load of the youth players go and play. So yeah, there's real good things. He's a serious talent. Jonker in terms of developing players for first team football, so I expect good things from him.
Anyone else on the list?
Yeah, you've got Mandela Egbo and Reece Oxford. Now Mandela Egbo has signed for Borussia Mönchengladbach, and Reece Oxford is there on loan.
Yeah, good club to be at. They've got a proven track record of playing young players, which is always good. The Bundesliga is just fucking wicked. The average age is about 16.
Great development.
Yeah, that's a wicked.
Well, there was an interesting article. I put it up on our Twitter from, I don't know what it stands for, but ibtimes.co.uk.
Okay.
Saying that Sancho leads new era of English talent turning to the continent.
Except he doesn't lead anything because he's probably the least developed of all of them.
Yes, I think it's more. They've given him the Dembele's number, haven't they? And he went for a large fee for someone who hasn't actually had a competitive first team game.
So did you make?
Yeah. And it's.
I hate it. Does my head in when. Who wrote that?
Tony Mogan.
Okay, don't know who he is. It's really disappointing because he hasn't led the way. He's not the first to go abroad. Ollie Burke's just come back. There's fucking loads of players that have been gone all the time. I'm banging on. Well, we spoke about this about 3 or 4 weeks ago. People didn't even know. Like, they were talking about Sancho, and it's because basically he was on strike from Man City and he was looking for a bit of a sniff around. But what are we doing?
Just doing a hop around.
Are we just going to have another one now, are we?
Yeah.
So here we go, we're underway.
What formation am I playing?
And playing 11 players.
Okay.
In some sort
this is how the
order.
hosts line up today. I think that back four is really important for them. They've got to be strong and solid. But they've got a bit
but
of
that's
protection.
what I was going to suggest. If we just sort of touch on it now and we'll just monitor throughout.
No, I am all up for that.
Just see how they go. Like I said before, stream what I've done is I've added in the fixtures into my calendar, so that when they go live. So it's literally just seeing what happens, you know. And I've even got, like I say, with some players, I'm looking at sort of youth games. I've seen when they're on. So we can just see what happens. See how they get on. Because the Ollie Burke thing.
These socks would be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, in the article there was quotes from again a West Ham sort of fan club saying, or supporters club, they're not happy about it. A lot of the West Ham fans, they were not happy.
Well, look, West Ham are in disarray.
The West Ham fans weren't happy when he dropped Scott Minter for Frank Lampard. It shows what the fucking West Ham fans know.
There was an interesting quote as well in another article that was again about the Sancho transfer. There were quite a few of them, so it was good. Saying about Chelsea just signing Bakayoko for, like, what was it, 40 million?
Oh, not Celestine Babayaro.
Well, that looked promising, but he's been stopped.
Fabulous.
Go
on, sorry.
Newcastle at one point. We were all there. But yeah, and saying that Loftus-Cheek would, you know, some people believe that he could be just as good as Bakayoko based on age and but the difference between the two of them is the setup that Bakayoko has been brought up in and the trust he was given and the training means that at the age that he's at now, he's actually already played a shitload of...
Yeah, he played 40 first team games and probably 12, 13 Champions League games.
Whereas Loftus-Cheek has only made his first team appearance like in last September or something like that. You know, it's.
But that's not. It's also the. It's just the pressures that the different clubs in the leagues are under, though. You know, I mean, I'll be the first to slate Chelsea, but you know, you can have.
Patience is the name of the game.
You can have your fan base wanting your youth to come through, and that's absolutely the case. And Wenger said this about Rob Holding and Callum Chambers. He said last season, I played him knowing that they will literally cost you points. Like you have the price for giving somebody experience is likely, particularly in defending positions, is going to be points. And who's going to take that risk? You know, you can take it in. I mean, it's a bit blasé, but you can take it in France because you never, Monaco were never expected to win the league. Monaco were expected to come a comfortable second, and you'd like to think that they probably could come. They could have come comfortably second, playing a load of youngsters anyway. Chelsea are never going to do that. They're not going to play their full team.
With Arsenal, when Holden had a good game, and then like when they won and he had a good game, it was a case of, well, you don't make a song and dance over him. Why not?
Yeah.
You know, if there was anyone else, they'd be fucking crazy. The price would have gone up massively.
Yeah, we've gone past the point of a big team doing what Liverpool did and what United did in 95-96, where they sold established first teamers and replaced them with kids from the youth.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, but then Man United, like, I know everybody holds up Man United. Man United was a fucking freak. He was an absolute freak. Manchester United haven't got a proven track record of bringing youth players through. They've got a proven track record of bringing one team through.
We had back in the day. You had. It wasn't even like a debate about it. It was, we had good homegrown talent. The Busby Babes and things like that.
But that's not homegrown talent. That's what football was.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same with the Lisbon Lions.
That's just what football was.
The Lisbon Lions is the same.
I think he's pulled a muscle.
Yeah, I mean everybody was though. I mean you talk about the Lisbon Lions, but like the Ajax teams that were dominant, the Real Madrid team, other than people like Santiago Bernabeu and what have you, it was everybody was a local team because that's how fucking football was. Like there's a reason why QPR have got the track record that they have over the years. It's because they had that was an absolute hotbed of English football for a long while. People like Les Ferdinand were from that. No, he insists to me in my invitation to play in goal at the Grenfell game. I turned it down. I said that there's Jose Mourinho refuses to not have the biggest ego on the pitch.
Yeah.
Martin Braithwaite.
With United, what I've always said, there's not a proven record of bringing through youth into their first team. However, we've got one hell of a fucking track record of bringing through youth players into other people's first teams.
Well, that's because, Hull will buy anyone for 12 million.
You look and you go, you got Heaton, Michael Keane.
But that's not Manchester United success. I'm not fucking giving that as Man United success there. Bullshit.
Danny Drinkwater.
Cleverly.
But even Cleverly was at United and failed. Darren Gibson was at United and ultimately failed. So did Johnny
Robbie
Evans,
Savage.
Stuff like that. Michael Keane, Tom Heaton, Danny Drinkwater.
I think that's a bit of a stretch, if I'm honest. So much development goes on post junior football now. I think that's nonsense. To claim that that's got any relevance, really, I really do struggle with that argument.
The one who had all the youth back in the day was Jim Murphy. Jim Murphy was fundamental. He's an interesting chap. Oh, that got it. Gormisaurus has piped up. Happy we're back at Yoko, but Loftus-Cheek only on loan. It's sad to see us actually sell Chalobah, but glad he's getting a chance at Watford. Yeah, but Loftus-Cheek's only on loan, but when he comes back, because he's gone out on loan, does that mean that he's got to go out on loan now and then...
Fucking hell's that? It's like a bat!
To Zeppelin, I believe.
Now they've got a chance in this part of the pitch.
Is he being attracted by my vest?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell, I got put up by a moth.
That moth is absolutely gargantuan.
He's gargantuan and he just got an assist.
You could fly, you could go home on that moth.
Yeah.
Did you offer it just to come in?
Yeah, with every vest that you buy with moths on, you get a fuck off massive moth.
It is. You'd like to try and defend
Right, your mate's chipping in. Any of you hoping to catch John Motson on his tour of clubs before he hangs up his microphone? And can you quote his most famous gaff while commentating? I can't.
Well, one of his most famous gaffes is, for those of you watching him black and white, Spurs are playing in yellow. That's probably his most famous. That thing is fucking... It's generally given a backdraft.
Casting a shadow now. Where's he gone? I can hear it.
Oh, I'm claiming that he scored that at the back of that.
Not assist!
That thing is fucking enormous. If that touches one of my computer games, that eats a computer game.
Welcome to this week's Wormy's Woodland Corner. We've done a live stream within a
the
live
thing
stream.
is, moths.
We've got Chris Packham coming in a minute to talk about moths.
We're going to take him upstairs.
That's a euphemism.
Callum Hewitt, straight in the nips.
Nip watch. Cheers, Callum.
Thanks for that, Callum. As ever, that was a really insightful contribution.
But yeah, I was going to say about Loftus-Cheek being on loan. In the Kurt Zouma has gone to Stoke. He's gone to Stoke, but you get the sense that he's gone out on Stoke, and that may be going to full first team and let's bring you back because he had a lot of first team appearances.
That's just to get his little knee up and knocking again.
Yeah, well, it's because you can't guarantee him games at Chelsea.
I'll surprise you here.
Can I surprise you?
I disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gone. That's him done.
See, I think
there is.
I think that's a genuine loan deal.
Right.
Where
Okay.
the aim is to bring back.
I think the gauntlet's laid down. Like, right, you go there, show us, but otherwise you're not.
Name me. Name me the most successful player in recent times to go. So not fucking Duncan Goodhue or whoever you're going to claim from like the 1932. To have gone out on loan and then to have come back as a full established player in a top 4 club.
Okay, so well, so I'm assuming then I'm not allowed to use Harry Kane.
Nope.
Okay. Because he did go out on loan and then come back and he's now fully established in a top 4 club.
Yeah, but I think we all know that was circumstance and a bit of luck.
And plus he didn't go straight on loan because I was going to say back. But is that recent enough?
No, of course it's not.
Relatively recent. It's more recent than Duncan Goodhue.
Duncan Goodhue, the footballing swimmer.
And he's on an absolute.
No, so the point that I'm talking, the point that I'm making is it doesn't happen.
It does have a feel.
Players don't go out on loan and come back like this. There's this weird disconnect between
Loftus-Cheek is not. That was my original.
Between what the loan
is gone out on loan because he's not going to play Chelsea and just go there. They'll pay some new wages.
Yeah.
I was surprised they let him go out on loan because homegrown quota and all that.
Yeah, well, that is why they were in for Oxlade Chamberlain and Drinkwater and
I just don't understand why they've let Loftus-Cheek go out on loan and then brought in Danny Drinkwater for 35 million.
Did they actually sign him in the end?
Yeah, signed.
For Chelsea?
Yeah. 35. Again, I mean, we've spoken about this. I can kind of see. I'm assuming. Let's assume that instead of it just being homegrown to quota, I'm assuming they're thinking, right, Danny Drinkwater played his best when N'Golo Kante was giving him England caps. So we've got Kante. So if we bring in Drinkwater, he might play that well again, which is the best. Which not saying that he suddenly turned into Blaze, but it's better than he has ever played before.
Yep.
So I can sort of see a bit of logic there. Or maybe, just.
Is he going to be better than Cesc Fabregas though?
No,
you've got to admit he's a Leicester fan.
But he's a squad player, and I don't agree with it. I think they should have just kept Loftus-Cheek, and there you go. To play Loftus-Cheek. Those games where Danny Drinkwater will be playing, play Loftus-Cheek instead.
Right, I get that you're mate. So you've got a mate who's a Leicester fan who thinks the world of Danny Drinkwater.
Yeah.
Right. Now, without being rude, I mean that's fairly obvious. Like if you're a Leicester fan, you're obviously going to love Danny Drinkwater. Like they won the league. You obviously would. I get why you would like him. I just don't know whether that would necessarily be a good judge of a player. We're all blinded by people that play for our clubs that we like. I think I genuinely thought the world of Sami Nasri. I thought he could have been a fucking world beater.
He should have.
But yeah, so I think it's lovely that he does. That your mate likes him. But yeah, he would. I don't know what that makes him a Chelsea.
I'm not saying that I rate Drinkwater. I'm just saying that when him and Kante were in that central midfield at Leicester, that was the best Drinkwater's ever played.
Oh yeah, of course.
So as a squad player, I can see why they would have brought him in, because one, the rest of us are homegrown quota. Two, if they replicate that central midfield partnership they had at Leicester, then it's worth it.
But that's to suggest that midfield plays in isolation of the rest of the team. That midfield worked beautifully well. That midfield worked beautifully well because of on-rushing forwards. He had Mahrez.
Because I just think it doesn't seem. I saw a lot of people just being sort of dismissing the whole transfer. And I'm like, okay, I don't think it's a good deal because, like I said, I think they should have just kept Loftus-Cheek. However, I do think that there is an element. Oh my god, there is an element of logic behind it.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, of course.
Cesc is going to be the boy this season.
Gomisaurus. He said, Terry when he went to Nottingham on loan.
Nope.
But if I'm not having David Beckham, he's not having Terry.
They weren't really, and Chelsea weren't the club that they are now when he came back from loan either. I think that's a bit disingenuous.
I know what you mean. You can't think of an example where someone's gone out on loan and then the next season. The closest I reckon you could get now, even though he didn't fully establish, was Welbeck and Johnny Evans.
Maybe Sunderland, yeah.
Because again, they didn't come back and play week in, week out in the first team. However, they did play in the first team. They did get a lot of game time, and they did do well.
Yeah, they didn't establish. That's
no,
what I suppose. And again, I know like it sounds like that now. I'm trying to really qualify everything I'm saying, but like neither of those two players.
They didn't come back.
Established themselves as first team players on an ongoing basis.
Johnny Evans didn't come back from Sunderland, and suddenly Nemanja Vidic couldn't go in the squad.
Yeah, exactly.
That's but I would suggest they're the closest.
No, I get it. Yeah, I do. I just that's to I suppose back my own point up really. I just don't see loans just don't work like it's not Football Manager.
No.
Where you stick your young buck out on loan, he gets 60 caps. Loans happen like Jack Wilshere at Bournemouth.
There is the other thing: is that why would you want a player to loan out if you know you're not going to buy him as well? So I think there is that thing of like, why should I invest in your youth when I know he's going to go back to you? Like if you lay the bait of potentially see how things go.
That's the Nathan Ake, I suppose. That's where you go down that road, or the other end of the spectrum. Then is that you do go down the Ada Den Haag one, where it's just like, well, one, we've got a strategic partnership, and two, you've got fuck all money, so you haven't got another option. Like the reason why you're going to invest in him for this season is because
10 players.
Yeah, exactly. It's because you're not getting anybody of an eighth of his quality.
And look, the Ake thing paid off, didn't it?
Yeah, of course it did. Yeah, but equally,
that was a good loan.
And people will talk about the Ake loan, in years to come. They'll say like how wonderful that was. We'll be talking about Jack Wilshere in that same sentence.
No.
Well, the 90 minutes have been played.
Right, moving on. Let's just move on to the end and do a preview, shall we?
What are we doing?
Do a preview, shall we?
Really quick preview,
I like it. Yeah. Do a really quick preview because I'm fucking jonesing for doing something else.
Okay.
A little rager there.
Right, so Saturday kicks off Man City Liverpool.
Man City Liverpool. Yeah. Can we talk about Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain?
Flopping a Liverpool.
Guess where he's playing this weekend.
And today the game is
guess what position?
He's right wing back.
He's on the wing back.
Guess who got injured this week for Liverpool?
Who did he get injured for Liverpool?
Nathaniel Klein.
Did he? Oh, you fucking course he did.
Guess how many months he's out for? Many
months. So yeah, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is starting at right wing back for.
Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain will flop. He will flop. I think he'll be well coached.
I fucking like him, but then, as we've said before, when you support a team, you like players that are shit. Sometimes, and I don't know. I hope he does really, really well. I hope he really does. I think he's a lovely guy. But yeah. So anyway, so Man City Liverpool. Let's suggest that Man City will probably be a little more pragmatic than Arsene Wenger. So that's not going to be a 4-0 thumping. What do you reckon the score?
Right, I reckon Liverpool will win. I reckon
at Man City.
Yeah, because Man City's defence still doesn't fill them with confidence. More so than
I think this is wake up or fuck off for Man City.
Do you reckon?
The only thing that actually does put me with Liverpool,
shit will get off the pan.
Liverpool got very good track record. Last season they did great against the top six.
That one is a good. I've never used it in real life. Have you ever used shit will get off the pan?
No.
No, I might try and use it.
It's like a carry-on from go out or go on, but with shit.
But with fecal matter. Yeah, go on. So who else we got playing? Who do you think it was?
Yeah, no.
I think that'll probably be like a draw. I'm feeling.
One thing that does.
You never know with Liverpool how they're playing.
One thing that's interesting, I know, is with that game in mind, Brazil. Jesus was benched and rested. We started with Firmino. So one of them's now going to travel back after playing 90 minutes, and the other one just chill.
You know that they've cobbled together those two poor football clubs and have chartered a jet for between them for the players to come back. It's good, clever though, isn't it? That they did it together. That probably Brian Marwood, because he's a fucking bright football administrator. Was just like
Brian Kidd.
Well, you would, didn't you? Because you're biased. It'll be Brian Marwood who just said, right, well, this is ridiculous. Like, those of our players are playing this weekend together. Let's get a plane back.
Was it Rubinho who threw in sand?
Quite clear whose throw it is.
In his garden.
In his garden.
Yeah. Who else is playing this weekend then?
Right, then it's Arsenal Bournemouth.
Ugh, who cares?
3. Charlie Daniels clock. Brighton West Brom.
Brighton West Brom. I'll watch that.
Is that in Brighton?
I'll watch
Yeah,
that.
it's in Brighton.
To the goal has gone with that clearance.
You could be going there, can you? You could go. You're not there, are you?
Benjamin Nibe. He's coming forward.
Who else is playing, Luke?
3 PM kickoffs. They're quite good this week. Did you go?
Your mum loves sucking off jubblies. That won't mean anything to anybody there, but I just created the segue that everybody else in this stream needed. So, carry on.
Everton Spurs.
Challenges for the ball.
I'm moving it. I mean,
Everton Spurs, that'd be a good game to watch.
Taking half a step forward.
That'd be
So we've got a corner coming.
That'd be a good
game, especially against the Goldmillisaurus.
Spurs, is that Spurs? Is that
Rooney?
League winners Spurs?
League winning Spurs.
Cancer.
Fuck me.
The whoring Wayne Rooney's Everton.
Yeah.
Leicester Chelsea is also 3 PM.
To be whoring. Come on.
Who's the other one?
Leicester Chelsea.
That won't be a bad game to watch. I'll probably watch Huddersfield.
Will Kelechi Iheanacho be released properly this time? Will
Yes.
Will he be
Well,
started?
no, is he fit?
You tell me.
I'll have a look.
You have a look on the waiver wire and tell me.
Right, the other game is Southampton Watford. That's the other 3 o'clock.
That'd be a good game to watch as
And
well.
then Stoke Man City.
Not interested in that. Stoke Man City? I thought you said Man City playing
Sorry,
Liverpool.
Stoke Man United. I'm backing
Who
up.
Watford playing?
Way.
Oh my god, we're going to Uwe
To the
Rosler
attacking third.
there.
No
Watford playing
advantage in
Southampton.
referee's
Every time I saw Uwe Rosler as a
Offside.
manager, he looked like he was going to fucking combust.
Yeah, even.
He was shit.
The problem with having such good 3 o'clock kickoffs on the Saturday is then again we're into the Super Sunday. Do you want to hear the Super Sunday?
No, we'll call it Sunday. If it's good at the end of it, we'll call it Super.
Okay, well the
Wants to be my choice.
trademark of Super Sunday
Yeah.
is Burnley Palace
That'll be alright to watch.
and Swansea Newcastle.
That'll be brilliant game to watch. I mean, dreadful quality of football, but that'll be interesting. There's quite a lot riding on both of those.
Well, the ref's going to let play on here.
Yeah, do you know the game I'm least interested in is fucking Arsenal Bournemouth. Jesus.
The game I'm most looking
Who else
forward
is
to
in
this
the
weekend is Friday night, Mets PSG.
That'll
My
be a
new
wicked football game.
league love affair that I have going on this season.
It's nice of you to join us.
Yeah,
the
I am
other two.
loving it.
Good.
I'm absolutely loving it. So yeah, that's the game I'm most looking forward
This
to.
is as catastrophic as your game. So
That game was brilliant.
Our game is the best.
go on then. What else we got then? Anything
So
else to
wrap
chat
this-
about, or can we just wrap this puppy up and throw it in the
Take
sink?
another look at the Suns.
Yeah, no, the other thing that they had was someone wanted us to do bets.
Bets?
You
Is
wanted
it-
us to do
What you mean?
No, we
you
had,
mean
we had someone
football and odds?
To
No.
do an acca.
Yeah.
No.
do an accumulator.
No.
I disagree with betting, Luke, so
And accumulators are for fucking mugs. If you want to be a professional gambler, follow a couple of people that will either maybe not tweet out later, because I'm not a huge fan of gambling either. So no, don't do Accas, because Accas are fucking mugs.
Lazio Milan, it's another
That'd be an excellent game to
one I
watch.
thought was good.
Play between these two.
Schalke Stuttgart.
That'd be another good. Stuttgart aren't particularly good. Schalke aren't particularly good at the moment either.
Stefan Dabion.
Anyone else? Anything else to watch?
No, there's
Anything going on in Spain this weekend?
there are quite a few. There's quite a lot going on in Spain. On Saturday you got Real Madrid Levante, you got Valencia Atletico, Barcelona Espanyol.
Who did you say Sociedad are playing?
Depor.
That'll be a good game. Back at Deportivo on
He is
loan.
on
I tell you what, he'll score.
Lukash.
He'll score,
That'll be
yeah.
Interesting. There you go.
He will score this weekend.
Right, I'm gonna claim that as artist, yeah, for Joel, who asked for. He said he hasn't won a bet in about 10 years. Can we give him a bet? So I'll just put that.
Deportivo, if you want a bet, then Deportivo to lose with Lucas Perez scoring for Deportivo.
Anytime.
Score at any time.
Anytime.
There's your bet, but betting's for mugs, and don't do it because it's not a good habit to have.
No.
But yeah, there we go.
Another one, just Fulham Cardiff City.
Turn pass.
At Fulham.
That'll be alright, won't it?
Yeah, Craven Cottage.
That'll be alright.
Well, they've had a great old time, haven't they?
Yeah.
Had a great old time.
Right, okay, let's
Just wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up.
Let's puppy up.
We're wrapping. We're wrapping. We're
Thanks for watching us.
Right.
You got to say goodbye to them first.
Right, bye. Thanks for
Turn
watching.
them off, then you got to run the
Thanks for watching
outro.
very much.
Bye.
See you next week.
Do you got to do your outro?
You got to finish then. The YouTube.
This is the real. This is where they're shit. They're shit.
They're
the real ones.
The way it goes for me is Facebook right down the bottom, YouTube in the middle, Twitch is where I want it.
Yeah, Twitch is where I want it. We just need to push it harder.
We need to sort it out.
This is where it is. This is where we need it. On this side.
On the right hand camera, not the left hand camera. When we get that up there, when we get a USB extension. Whoa.
But yeah, thanks for watching.
You're the real heroes.
Follow us on all the social media platforms.
I feel like we're the real heroes.
Subscribe to the channel. I actually found this. You can work out stats of who watched and compared to who subscribed to your channel as well. And it's about 65% of people will watch but aren't subscribed.
Well, that's how it goes.
That's
how it goes.
So we just fucking subscribe.
You don't have to subscribe.
You do have to subscribe.
You don't. You can just watch us.
Oh, right, let's do an experiment. Press Alt and O and see what happens.
Let's do it.
Let's just see what happens. Anything can happen now.
Welcome to another great game of football. If you like action, you're in for a treat here.
It's up for grabs now! Thomas!
Oh, take him out, son. I mean that, take him out.
It was just banter.
Ladies and gentlemen, you boys took the hell of a beating.
Oh no! Scorchio! How did he miss?
Balotelli! Aguero!
Come on, fam. Real talk, lad.
Lovely cushion header. Pajero! You beauty! What a head, son!